Just going to join the weekly Superblitz arena and just play a handful of games, probably not too many. I'll probably spend a bit more time watching some of the other games than actually trying to play too much of this event. I've already missed like an hour and 20 minutes or so just to see how we get on when we get a game. These are the leaders. Oops, the game has started. Okay, that gives me a pawn. He just resigns, he's realised he's made a mistake. These things happen, not to worry. Right, they're the leaders. Okay. Now I can take or I can drop back. I think I'll drop back. Just go slow and steady, castle, pawn up. Okay, I think I'm going to play the outside pawn up there. Now just create a square for the knight. At some point I'll push one of these, not sure which yet. I imagine my opponent will have the same basic idea to push the other way. I mean, I could potentially put the knight in and trade a set of knights off. Okay, now I can't. So just develop the knight as planned. Okay, this idea is coming. I actually take his knight now. It's double-edged this though, because he's going to get a rook on the file at some point. So do I push the pawn up and drop the bishop back around? That's an idea. I can push here actually, can't I? Yeah, let's push through the middle. If he takes, I can take with the knight, hit the bishop and the pawn. He drops back. I'll take, so now they're isolated. So play c5. Again, if he advances knight up, if he takes, I'll take with the pawn. Could be a bit risky this, because he's going to get rook across. He offers to trade the knight, but he's still going to get a pawn forward. So if I take the knight, he grabs a pawn with check. So I think I'll play rook across. It allows the bishop to drop back, it allows the knight to drop back. I think I'll drop the bishop back. Oh, I've blundered it. I've blundered there. If he takes, I take with a queen, he gets a fork. So that's not good. If I take with a knight, he gets a pawn with check. Might be actually safer to do that. But he doesn't. Now, do I let him go with this to win a pawn? Okay. So I could just play pawn up to kill that threat. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Close the diagonal threat. Now I'm threatening to take the knight. So I expect he'll take. Actually, if he does, I could take with a queen and hit the pawn. He goes back. So I think rook across makes sense. Okay, so I'm threatening maybe knight across. He can try and grab a pawn. He doesn't. Oh, that just invites me forward. This is risky because he's going to get an advanced pawn, assuming he takes. Now I've got to watch the clock. I'm a little, well, we're pretty much even on the clock, slightly down. Get rid of that bishop. Okay, I'm going to put the queen this way and the rook this way. Queen up here. Okay. I'll pre-move in case he takes. Actually, I won't pre-move. I should pre-move. Yeah, I should pre-move. Knight up is a move. So he can now take. So rook across, hit the knight. I'm hitting the pawn as well. I have seen that. Does he drop the knight back? Let's see. If he does, I'm going to put the knight forward somewhere. So he just protects. Right, grab the pawn then. Knight moves, I can take the rook, unless he goes with check, but my knight does protect the rook, so I could take back. Okay. I'm going to put the queen in the corner there. It's an unusual move. Might create some tricks, you never know. So I'll take. Knight, queen check is covered. I need to get the knight forward. Oh yeah, here to here might be an idea. As long as I'm not blundering some sort of mate. So he grabs the pawn. No, I can't go there. I grab this one then. I'm still covering this check. Okay, he was hitting the queen there, so I hit the knight. Right, now he's got a check with a chance of a pawn, so I'll come up here. Oh, he just wanted to trade. Okay, take. Ah, he's left his queen open there, he's a bit unlucky. Now it's just game over, I've got lots of time here. No risk in the position. I should just push the pawn, is safer. Yeah, I've got lots of time to play this out now. Excellent, got there in the end. He played very well though, he really did. He put in a good effort there, well done. Well, I'll play Caro-Kann this game. No need to pre-move with it being a blitz game. If it was bullet, I would pre-move just d5 every time. Or is he going to play the two knights? Is he going to take? Pre-move in case he takes. Again, I could take with a queen, actually mixed up. He doesn't do either. So pin the knight, then e6. Otherwise he can play e6 himself. I think queen up here, threatening to take and win a pawn. Okay, I can still play that. So it wins a pawn at least. And if he takes, the knight hits the bishop and threatens to trap the rook, so that's a threat. Otherwise I can maybe double his pawns here. He might drop all the way back, and I can drop the knight back. He's done that. Let's just develop the rook and then drop the knight back. He's bound to play forward, I would think. Now I could go forward, get rid of knight for bishop. This pawn is going to fall, so I'll protect the pawn and hit a pawn, create a threat. So he might have to play f4, then I'm going to play knight up and forward. Okay, he just ignores it. So I can gain a pawn, lose a pawn. I think that's a good deal actually. I'm going to get the bishop developed. It just gave a message on screen there saying your opponent disconnected or something. Okay, I've got to keep an eye out on this then, just in case there's something suspicious. I hope there isn't, but it just brought a quick message on the screen and it disappeared. So I better just keep an eye out. Bishop up, look to trade. Okay, just king up looks fine, knight up. So I can go with pawn. Rook is cleaner, hit the bishop, develop your knight with a tempo. You might have to push there now. Just going to develop the knight. And we can double the rooks up. He should have really brought a rook across there, but not to worry. Okay. I'm going to put the pawn in the dark square. He's got the light squared bishop. Now I don't need to go forward there. Let's put a pawn forward. He's always got tricks like this because of the pin. So bring the king forward just to break that. He's going to have to really go across, I guess. Oh, he just goes across one. Okay, put the rook on a dark square again. So if he moves, this pawn's vulnerable. Oh, and he does do that. I think I'm okay to take there. Now check, I can just block. So he looks to trade. That's got to be worthwhile. Now behind the pawn, because it's on a dark square, the rook's going to go to a dark square just so I don't drop any clangers anywhere. And now we're going to get the knight active. And just shovel these up onto the dark squares. Okay, so I can go in and hit the bishop, but then it's hard to see how you get the knight back out. So let's go here and we can just push. I've got a pretty nice fortress here. Eventually he might have to trade off rook for rook and pawn, but then I've got two clean pawns up. So it will favour me to trade off if I can. And just try and put these on the dark squares, just edge forward. Then another one. Again, he might play this, he doesn't, so I will. So now if he pushes, I can go again. Tough position for white, this, to be fair, it's a tough position. So now they're all on dark squares, I'm just going to push. Now this is where you can try and get creative. Knight across would allow a check if he plays rook takes. So rook takes loses to knight check. Okay, just play a check anywhere. Right, he's all out of time, that's a good win. So 2185 now, that's another new personal best high rating for me. They're the leaders. Very, very strong players now. At 2200, this is a different league altogether. Okay, let's just go sensible and steady. Now I can either go d4 or g3 here. I'll probably go d4. Actually, no, I won't. I'll go g3. Let's do something different. I normally play the d4 simple classic lines, so let's just try a different line. Comes forward, so we can take. We can just push up. So he's going to trade and play e5. I could play a counter move. I think I'll just trade there. So I can leave the bishop where it is, I can drop back. Now I can play d4. Yeah, I think d4 makes sense now. Pre-move in case he takes. I don't think he will, but just in case. He plays rook across, so he wants to come here. So let's play a4. Now, do I go for an early advance? So again, he's tempting me to go across there. Again, I don't see any reason not to. So if I take knight up, queen down, I can grab this pawn, but then this pawn is loose. I think I'm just going to take and grab this pawn, or play the knight this way. Yes. Knight up, he's got queen down hitting the pawn. I can grab the pawn first, I can play a knight up. just grab the pawn. So he comes up trying to trap my rook, he's hit the bishop. Can't quite take. Now I've got bishop over myself here now. He can't retreat the bishop, so I'm hitting rook and bishop. He can take though, that's annoying. So I've got to take back if he takes, because it's a check. But then if he moves his rook, I'm hitting the pawn. A bit double-edged this. So he drops back. So he's looking at the pawn. Okay, so if I take, his king takes, is my rook trapped? I'm going to put the bishop forward and give him that pawn. I'm not going to pre-move, he might not take, he does, so now I go up. Now there's pressure on the pawn, but okay, is that really a threat? I mean, I'm giving up a knight, but take, what to do with my rook? Take, oh, actually there is a threat there because it's a... I've got to move there, just realised he was threatening a discovered check. So if bishop back, it's covered. Actually it isn't. Queen takes, queen takes. Yeah, I'm way down on the clock. I've been very slow here. Rook across is an idea just to hit the queen. Yes, he's threatening another discovery there. He's hitting the knight. Very good move. I don't see what I can do. Well, actually, can I just take? Does he just let his piece there? So he's going to have to take, I take and he gets my rook, but then I take back his rook. Okay, I thought he was going to take with the king there to try and trap my rook. Yeah, I'm just so low on the clock, aren't I? I can't win this now. He'd have to find a way to beat himself now. Clearly that's not going to happen. I'm trying to see a way to get my rook back and I don't see it. Or to get my queen forward. I can go across and trade, but yeah, I'm just so low on time. This is impossible, I think, now. He'd have to find a way to beat himself, really. Even here he can play this out. He's got no mate threat. I'm just going to take the pawn, but I'm letting him in, of course. A knight check at least is covered. Oh, I just blundered it. Wow, I just blundered it. Well done though, very good win, he saw it out well. Now, do I take and double up his pawns? Okay, removes the option anyway. So I'll play bishop up, or he should do. Then I can just castle, I can play c5 or a5. No, let's play c5. My bishop's not coming back, so try and trade something. Just take and castle. So play up and bring the knight up. If he wanders the queen off, then I'll take the knight. I did that in a game earlier. Otherwise we're going to try and get rook across and push here and create a square for the knight. I see, it's done it again, exactly like they played it earlier on. Rook across first so the knight can come back and provide extra protection here. Now rook across here so we have threats coming this way. It's always a risk with this though. It's always a risk. So if I play up, yeah, I need to play up to stop his pawn advance. If he comes forward, take and take. Otherwise I'm going to drop the knight around this way, so he just drops back. So I'm going to drop the knight back here. It's more useful here, so it can either come up or this knight can be free to go somewhere. Again, if he advances, I'll just take. Okay, he plays the rook across now. Okay, I'm going to take now, just try and open things up a bit. Simplify. Okay, hitting the pawn, he's got to defend his pawn, then I'm going to get the rook across. Okay, can I take there? No, I can't. So I'll hit the bishop. So he'll probably go back. But the knight covers this now, so this one's free to move. So let's go here to target this square and bring the queen back across. Again, he's playing very well, very solid. So he has indeed covered that square. So taking isn't really a move. So queen across to help cover this square. So knight in to hit the bishop is a move. This knight, of course, is a little bit out of the game with its defensive duties, so I could bring that forward to support this square as well. Okay, plays forward. Actually, so I've got rook up here. Queen down isn't on. Yeah, rook up looks quite strong there. If he moves the bishop, he's still got to deal with this. He might have to come forward. Then I'm going to get my queen up and pressure on this file. So that's what he does. So now connect these up. So he comes forward. Right, I'm going to bring the knight up and see if he takes. He does. So that closes this file down, gives my king a square. So queen up is a threat to target this pawn. Still a threat there. That's protected. He can go across. This knight is kind of out the game though, isn't it? How do I get that knight active? If his queen goes across, this pawn is going to fall though. And he's just defending. So yeah, it's quite tough for white, but it's tough to break through at the same time for me. So he goes for the trade, so makes sense to grab pawn first. Now I've actually got take here, but his rook's covered. Take with check. I don't think I can win that. Take. It makes it interesting. You know what, it makes it interesting, why not? Pre-move in case he takes. My knight's coming into the attack. So which square do I want his king on? Yeah, bring the knight over because I've got two different checks. He's got no queen check on this file. So I'm threatening check and mate or check here. Queen wanders off, this pawn's loose. Oops, he's just missed the back rank. So that's a good win. He played very well though, he played very well. Well, I'll play a few more games. I was only planning on playing a handful of games, but I'll play a handful more. Very tough tournament, of course, lots and lots of really strong players in this. Okay. So he just ignores it. I think b3 is okay here. You've got to watch moves like this. He takes. Bishop or pawn. I'll go with bishop and free up castling. Is there a trick there? Up, queen up. He defends. Knight up. There might be a little trick here, I doubt it. He's going to have to put the queen here. If he goes on the light square, he runs into this. Oh, and he has. So he can't take, he loses the queen. And now the defence of the piece is overloaded. He needed to go on the dark square. Very, very easy to miss that. Very easy to miss indeed. But now I'm threatening to take, so he just resigns. That's a good win. These are the leaders. Well, I'll play another Caracal. Right, we have an advanced variation. Okay, I think queen up is okay here. It comes forward, so I think it's c5 now. Queen check or queen check, which one is right? Yeah, queen check, he's got bishop back. Drop back. I think it's check and drop back. Oh, it just blocks it, okay. So now I can actually go forward. He can't take, but does it gain anything? He'd normally take there, but he can't take without losing the knight. So he goes back. So hit the bishop, see if he takes. Again, you normally bring the knight across this way. So I'm going to hit the knight now, see if he comes forward. He doesn't. Right, knight across. Wow, I'm way down on the clock. I've just realised I've been going too slow. Okay, I'll take that in castle. If the knight comes in, I'll just take it. At some point I'm going to sack around here, I guess. Actually, let's just play f6 anyway. Okay, well now I can take. I think he's dropped a pawn. Idea being, if bishop comes round, you can take with a check in these lines. And of course the rook now covers the file anyway. So go in and hit the queen. Put the bishop on a good square. Pressure the pawn. Okay, so I've got bishop up to hit the knight as well. I've got pawn forward. Right, let's try and open this up. Pre-move in case he takes with either piece. Actually, I don't need to pre-move. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. No, I don't. Just take. Okay, comes up. Right, take so I don't drop any clangers. He doesn't take me. Right, he comes forward. Right, so I'm going to take a risk here and push a pawn down the board. Now if the king moves off, there's potentials for knight check. Otherwise I'm just going to push a pawn down the board. I think my king looks safe. I've always got e5. I'll play that now to cut the diagonal. Otherwise he was obviously threatening a deadly check. I'm trying to prompt his king to move so that I get a knight check in. Maybe it doesn't work now with the bishop still here. But pawn forward and queen in is also pretty deadly, of course. Right, so he's blocked that. So pawn up takes, bishop takes, doesn't really do much. Actually, queen in looks strong here. Now I am threatening to go forward and take and stop the bishop. Okay, so I've got knight round to hit the queen again. I think again, pawn forward looks strong. If he takes, I take. If the bishop moves, his queen falls. So he's got to really shift his queen somewhere. Where does he go? There. And then I take the bishop. I don't see any follow-up check. So I think this wins a piece. All the paths for the queen to check seem to be covered unless I'm blundering and missing something. And if the bishop falls, then his defence becomes harder. And of course these pawns are quite close. Well, now I just trade and win the piece. So now get behind the pawn and push. Just looks the cleanest way to win. Okay, I'm not going to blunder the piece, just drop it back. All I need to do is simply collect the pawns, then promote another one. So just sack the rook if I need to. Lots of time there just to deliver the checkmate. So very good, very good. I think that'll be my final game, that. So I'll just click pause. So what have I done? I've had 7 games, 6 wins, 1 loss against the 2200. So a 2090 performance against average opponent just 1734. That's not bad, though.